I guess it starts anytime. Sean sometimes like surprises us, and he doesn't tell us when it's going to start.
Yeah.
And then we end up getting like this weird kind of like beginning where we're just kind of having like random conversation. It's like like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, whatever that was called. Was that called just Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood?
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was.
Nick, how do you want it to start?
With a bang and a boom.
Oh shit! We're fucking live with this bang and boom right here.
Oh, okay. See, I'm telling you, just like Mr. Rogers.
You never know. You never know when the clock's running.
I'm trying to think of how that fucking shit starts. I bet somebody in the league would remember.
Isn't it just like he kind of just like walks in, like pans into the screen, like, oh hey everybody, like he didn't know.
He sings a song.
There?
No, it's like he sings. There's a song he sings. It's like, and it's specific. It's like da 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 da. Thank you for being my neighbor.
Won't you be my neighbor?
Hello, neighbor.
Oh wow. So we didn't want this podcast to go long, and we already spent 2 minutes talking about Mr. Rogers.
That's exactly. Well, technically, I mean, I would say that's probably somewhat appropriate given the fact that it's not just me and you today, Sean.
Yeah.
We also have a guest with us today.
Also, that Mr. Rogers is pretty applicable. Nick,
that's what I was going.
Oh shit!
Oh, there
Mr. Rogers, where are you?
Okay. Well,
can I say a quick thing real quick?
Yes.
Dude, I just want to send a shout out to my two boys, Aaron and Deshaun. I miss you guys, and I hope you listen to this podcast, and I'll see you for pizza and Overwatch on Friday. So I miss both those guys, and Mr. Rogers is just really sad.
Yeah.
I'm
sad. I mean, we have a lot to talk about. We ended up missing last week, and, we've got, of course, everything going on this week. But seeing as how, Nick, you've had, I don't know, how would you describe your season? Like, in one word or 2 words?
Okay. I'm just going to describe my season in 3 words. What the fuck? Dude, I used my second round pick to get a quarterback because I didn't want to deal with the roller coaster or the roulette of QBs because I feel like I did that last year and I'm like, I'm not having that. I'm not going to do that again. So I used my second round pick and then he goes down. Like, oh, great. Okay, well, fuck. I'll trade away my first round pick to get another quarterback so I won't have to do the roulette again. And then that motherfucker goes down. And I am just so sad. I was so happy last week, and now I'm really fucking sad this week. And it's just, why didn't we do the podcast last week? It would have been a totally different story, you know.
Well,
but
here's a question,
whatever.
Nick. Here's a question: who was your third round pick?
It was Lamar Miller, and he's not going to throw any balls.
So you need to trade. You need to trade Lamar Miller to somebody to get a quarterback, just to kind of keep that theme going. Trade away your first 3 rounds of picks to get a quarterback.
You know what, Sean? I actually tried to do that, but you made a deal already with Mr. Carlos Hyde.
Ooh.
I tried to go after your Drew Brees.
All right, everybody. Jesus Christ. We're getting so far ahead of ourselves. There's so much shit to cover. Oh, my God. All right, one thing at a time. Let's start with the first injury, Nick. So what week was that again?
That was, I think, week 6 or 7. But I wasn't, I was pretty bummed about that, but I still came on top with Chris with that goose egg. So it was like, okay, at least I have a week to prepare. It didn't give me a loss.
It was, yeah, you're right. It was week 6. So at what point, what was your record? What was your record at that point in time? 4-2 or 4-1?
It was, yeah, it was week 6, so I played 4-1. So I played 5 games, and then I won week 6. So maybe I was 3. I don't know. I can't tell you. Is this a math podcast?
You were 4-1 at that point. You'd only lost once to Misha.
Thank you, Mr. Mathematics. This is what we have you on there, Sean. We have you to bring in the sensibleness, the numbers.
Got to keep it contained.
Yes, somehow, some way. Well, okay, so week 6, he goes down. You're right. You do still end up winning that game.
Yeah, pretty whole-handedly too. You had 128 points.
Yeah, and then let's see if I don't know if we can actually go back that far. I should be able to. Fuck, we need the month of starting.
So week 7.
I started.
You played. Yeah, you've waited forever. You had no quarterback, and we were like, what's he gonna do? Like, what the fuck? Why is he taking so long to fill in that spot? And then I remember you picked up Hundley, the backup quarterback, and I was like, what the fuck? All of that suspense, and then he just picks up the backup. And that was the week that you lost to Joey. So that was the first week where you were feeling that hurt of not having a really good quarterback.
Now I'm looking. Oh, sorry, Nick. Please comment.
That was painful.
So was that what sparked the whole trade idea with Chris? Were you just like, fuck, I can't have another week like this? Or were maybe you were already talking with Chris at that point?
No. Oh, what's up, Rhino? No. I wasn't talking with Chris at all. He actually he hit me up when I was Rhino, you got to go. He hit me up when I was hungover at work, and I was like,
Smart.
wait, yeah. He came after Le'Veon Bell because he loves Le'Veon Bell. So we all.
Oh yeah, he does, dude. Chris is a big ass hard on for. So the funny thing is, Chris had Le'Veon when
hey guys,
he went off for that.
Tech. There's a dog going to trip over the wire here. It's going to ruin the podcast. Hold on. Rhino, stop.
Come on, Rhino.
Rhino, god damn it.
God damn it.
I want to change my team name to Rhino Stop.
Okay, go, Rhino. You got to go out. Go, buddy. You're a fucking huge dog. Okay.
You know, I wouldn't imagine that you would name a fucking Chihuahua Rhino.
It's a Basset Hound something else.
That's a
Basset Hound?
Pretty harsh nickname for Tina.
Yeah. Oh my god. Hopefully she doesn't listen to this.
Sorry, you're paying for that. You're paying for that. The Basset Hound. Oh my god. You see that girl? Do you guys? Any of you guys see that meme where the one guy was talking about a chick like she was a bowl of oatmeal?
Oh my god, no, I did not.
Oh, dude. Oh, look that fucking video or whatever, that GIF up on, whatever, Google. I swear to God, you will laugh your fucking ass off. The look this guy gives, like he's a fucking prisoner being like, in court, and the
thicker than a bowl of oatmeal.
Yeah, thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Like, have you seen that?
No, I just Googled it.
No.
I'm looking at it right now,
dude, the look in his face is like, Your Honor, he said that she was thicker than a bowl of oatmeal. Did you see her? that look, bro. Oh my god, it's so funny.
That's awesome.
Jesus.
Anyway, so Nick, I think where we were going with that, Chris has a hard-on for Le'Veon Bell, and did he try to throw some trade offers, or was he talking to you? Was that after you had lost week 7, or was it before?
Yeah. That? So I think what happened is
what was week 7? Week 7 was against Joey. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I lost, and I was feeling down, and I was like, dude, I gotta solve this QB problem. He actually hit me up. I think he went after me first, and he wanted to trade Mariota or Winston for Bell and somebody else.
Whoa!
So it wasn't straight up. It was. Okay.
I think he did want to do it straight up, and then I'm like, let's do a 2-on-2. So I was really hurting at wideout and QB, and he wanted Bell really bad. So he came after Bell and Brait. Those were both his ideas.
Oh, okay.
And losing Brait was hard for me. I was like, fuck, dude, he's solid. I like him as a tight end. He gets like a touchdown a game. He's been doing really good. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't expecting to get Hopkins. I kind of threw that in. I was like, okay, I really want Deshaun. So he's like, okay. But then I kind of targeted Hopkins, and I was surprised that he let him go. So at that point, I was like super stoked. Like, I have to do this. Like, I need a QB so bad. But with Hopkins, I can let go of my first rounder. And so I looked at the schedule here, I think, for Houston. and I think the first playoff game is the 49ers.
I knew it. I knew you were already looking ahead to the playoffs.
Yeah, so I was like, ooh, that is a fucking juicy, like, that's a gimme right there. I want that. I want Deshaun going against the 49ers in the Houston offense. That's like a for sure win. So I'll do that. And I looked at the rest of the schedule, and I wasn't going to play Chris. So I would give congrats to Chris for getting Le'Veon Bell, but I would give him a good player, my first rounder, to go and beat my opponents.
Yeah, you never see him. Yeah, you never see him again. That's a good point.
Yeah, and true.
Le'Veon still had a bye, and the other players didn't have a bye, so it was just like a win-win-win-win for me. And I had to do it because I had some depth at running back, and I thought that
what was your team at that point?
I could throw in Ingram actually to replicate that production.
Yeah, because Ingram started actually having week 6. He had his 27-point game, and then 7 he had 19. Week 8 he was about to have 14.
Yeah, so the real Phantom Menace was Mark Ingram, because he came in and he was they traded away Adrian Peterson at like the same time, and he was just like boom, he put in that huge first game. I think he got like 27 points or something like that. So that was my motivation. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get rid of Bell. I'm going to solve these holes. And so I was feeling great. It worked out. I got Deshaun Watson for that one game. Everyone was like, "Oh, he's going into Seattle," and he blew up. And I was just so.
Let's talk about that, because we did not, as we said earlier, we did not get a chance to talk about last week's results and everything like that. And I would say the biggest game last week for sure was that Seattle-Houston game, because I mean that was probably one of the craziest games NFL games that we had seen like in a while, where it was just offensively crazy. How many touchdowns did Deshaun Watson have?
Dude, I think I watched that whole game, so I was stoked. The first play of the game, he did like a play action, and he threw a fucking bomb to Will Fuller for a touchdown, like the first drive. And I was just like, oh my God. And my pants got so wet. I just watched the rest of the game. He was magic. Every time he touched the ball, he'd fake it this way. Oh, and then he'd run for 50 yards. And I was just like, oh.
Yeah. So he put up 42 points. He threw for 400 yards, had 4 touchdowns. Now, here's the crazy thing. Normally, if somebody throws 3 interceptions, even when they have a fantastic game, those 3 interceptions are really going to eat into your point totals. But not for him, because he had 8 in the ground for 67.
Yeah, that just negated all those interceptions right there. And then,
those interceptions weren't even bad. They made him throw those, though. Like at the end of the half, they're like, "Here, chuck it up," and he chucked it up. And then at the end of the game, like those weren't even bad picks. I watched them all.
And let's not forget, because we all like to go week to week and have a short-term memory and forget about those crazy performances, except when they're on your team. And for that one game where you had both of those players, fucking hell did those 2 players end up showing
76 points between just those 2 people.
DeAndre Hopkins had 224 fucking yards, 8 receptions, and a TD. Insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Insane. I mean, so you got, at that point in time, on that day, I mean, and Sean, dude, this is you. This is playing against you. Oh man,
I got just demolished. And that game, I think that was one of the afternoon games. And so in the morning, I was like kind of hanging on. Like we were pretty close. I was like, well, maybe I still have a chance as long as Nick's team doesn't just straight fucking blow up. And boy, did they blow up.
Before. They did, but before DeAndre, if Stefan and Nelson were, somewhere during the day, they'd only gotten 4.
It was like Stefan Diggs, like Latavius Murray, and maybe Nelson Aguilar, where it was just like, oh wow, Nick's team is off to a fucking shit start. Like I could, and my team was doing okay in the morning, so I thought, all right, like definitely have a good shot here. But then my team crapped out big time for basically every other game, and his team exploded.
Yeah, I mean, even Lamar Miller, dude, his third Texan, like the three Texans he had, had his best game.
96.5 points between just your 3 Texans.
Like, dude, yeah, Lamar Miller, best game of the year, 21 carries. It was his highest carry total. 54 on the ground, not all that great, but had the touchdown, and also had 3 receptions in the air for 19 and another touchdown. So
Nick,
dude,
how are you feeling after?
Oh shit, Jack Doyle! I didn't even see this. Jack Doyle put up 25 points.
Yeah, your little fill-in for Cameron Brate gets you 25. So you're just like, oh man, that's awesome. Like, how are you feeling after that week?
Jesus.
Dude, I think my point total pretty much says it. I was just my nut exploded, and I was so.
Dude, those pants must be just destroyed right now.
Yeah, so wet, dude. They're at the cleaners. But I was stoked, man. Even my fill-in tight end, he caught a million balls, and that was a bright start.
12 fucking balls. That's ridiculous. 121 and a touchdown.
Yeah, that's fucking nuts, dude.
Yeah, dude, your team, besides those few players, because even Mark Ingram, as we were saying, he was about to get 14. Your kicker got you 10. I mean, shit, Crowell on your bench had 17.
The only thing you didn't get this week, you didn't get the high score because John squeaked it out, which was pretty crazy to have 2 people in 160.
And you know why he did? Because Russell was playing the Texans. Russell had to get the go-ahead.
Yeah, we can talk about that. I mean, I guess we could quickly go over Sean. I mean, dude, Drew Brees.
I don't want. I don't even honestly even if I didn't lose, I don't even want to think about what my team was doing 2 weeks ago. My team it's different now. I can't even remember a lot of these games. I don't have Buck Allen. I don't have Jason Witten. I don't have Pierre Garçon. I don't have Bengals defense. I don't even have a lot of these guys.
I'll tell you about. Yeah, who are those guys? Or where are those guys? I guess sitting on the waivers. I'll tell you about my fucking 2 weeks ago. Oh, good lord, that was a brutal showing.
Were you playing
for
Chris?
my. No.
Wait, who were you playing? Oh, you were playing. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that's what the connection was. That you were playing John.
Oh my god, dude! 165.5 again. Highest score in the week. Again, highest point total that we've seen so far this season.
Yep.
Dude, John has been killing it, dude. This whole last month, October, John owned October. And
he is on a tear right now. What is he on? He's on a 4-game win streak right now.
Yeah, I think he did just win this last week. And I guess we can go over that really quick. But yeah, dude, that Russell in that same game with Houston just went absolutely crazy. He had 4 touchdowns, a pick, 452 yards. Jesus. And he also had 4 on the ground for 45 points. So that was pretty good. Who do you have? Will Fuller, one of the Texans. 5 in the air, 125, 2 touchdowns, 27.5. God damn it. Zeke had a big game. It was a tough one, and that was also my super bye week where I just had to ask at least.
Yeah, Fitz, Gurley, Evan Ingram, your kicker. Yeah, you had a lot of people on buys, and then Emmanuel Sanders was injured.
Out. Yeah, and it was pretty bad, and my fill-in for Marshawn was did not go that great. It was a pretty pathetic performance from everybody except for Thielen, who had his best game or second best game of the season. So it was congrats to John. However many you've won now. What is it? 5? 4?
4 in a row. Yeah.
4 in a row. 4 in a row.
Here's a question for you, Brian. So this whole year up until, I think 2 weeks ago, because of the suspension, you finally had enough with Marshawn Lynch and said, fuck it, you're done. And then I think Jimmy picks him up, plays him last week.
Derek.
Yeah. And what did he get, 19 points or something
18,
like that?
Yep, that was really, that was salt on my wound. I was pissed at Marshawn. He was a fucking bum.
Derek just rooting around in the garbage bin and comes up with a shiny turd.
Yeah, dude, and that shiny turtle fucking helped him get the highest score this week.
Against me, I'd like to
Yeah.
say thank you, Brian.
Oh,
I
you're
appreciate
welcome. Because that's of course that's my doing. I would also say, he's also been sitting with Dak the entire year, and apparently Derek probably has fielded more trade offers than I think anybody this entire anybody maybe in history has, and he's probably denied every single.
He must with
He
two
must.
super
He
solid
must.
quarterback, two
Exactly,
of the top
dude,
6 quarterbacks.
I bet you Derek, and doesn't even listen to this. Derek could get anybody he wants. Like any player you can name currently in the league right now, Derek could get.
Any
All he would
woman,
have to
woman
do-
in the world he could get.
That's what Derek wishes we were saying. But I'm just saying like anybody he wants, I bet you would be willing if they needed a quarterback. Fuck yeah, they're giving up
Nick, how much have you been reaching out to Derek for some trade propositions?
I have. I've been hitting him up on text, and he's like, "I'm not trading this year."
Whoa!
Well, what's up with
Not
that, Derek?
trading this year. He just wants to keep somebody on his bench for I guess he's playing defense against the league. I guess that's what he's doing.
He just wants to keep all the IR people on his bench. He's got a whole
hoarder.
hospital bench.
Well, what's his name is coming back possibly this week.
Who?
Greg Olsen.
Greg Olsen.
Oh, wow.
And so he'll have Greg Olsen.
He has David Johnson still. He's supposed to be done for the entire year, but
I don't think he was. They said he might not even be able to come back until late December.
yeah, and the fantasy season will be over. But I guess he's just keeping him there for safety.
Yeah, for safety's sake. It was the first overall pick. I mean, it's hard to let go sometimes,
Yeah.
But
True that.
at the same time, it was a tough game for me to let go of because John fucking spanked me. That was the third time I think I had the highest score against me. So I really appreciate this, you guys, everybody. I do very much. It's enjoyable. But yeah, congrats to you, John. And were there any other big matchups that we wanted to talk about besides our own?
Well, they definitely had a lot of story to them.
Well, what else ended up happening? Let's say if
None
we
of the
went
other
to...
ones were even very close, honestly. They were just kind of blowouts.
Derek smacked on Phil. What happened with Phil's team? Dude, he had the Chiefs defense, which put up 20, but that was his highest scorer. He had Sanu that got him 16. Cousins only got him 12. Hilton had a 2. Johnson had a 6. Jordan Reed had a .5. Rough game. And Derek did just fine.
Yep.
Des Bryant was the only person that didn't get in double digits.
The other matchup, Joey and Misha, saw that Joey's top scorer was Harrison Butker. That's a notable right there.
That's another salt in my wound. But that was just because I drafted that guy and he was on a team and they cut him and he was a free agent and I was just like, fucking goddamn it, all right, Mr. Irrelevant, I'll go ahead and get rid of you. And then he gets picked up by KC and just starts kicking ass.
Yeah, literally kicking ass.
Kicking the ass. Misha looked like he had kind of a tough game. Those tight ends, Jesus, they can't be stopped. But his wideouts really let him down. His running backs really let him down. Cam, only 14 points.
But yeah, Misha's doing pretty well, though, still.
I mean, yeah, dude. It was just this week just happened to be a bad week, and Joey got the better end of it.
All right, so then now we week 8 over with. Nick, you just...
Well, we still got Chris and Jimmy.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris got smacked. Only LaShawn McCoy and Le'Veon showed up. Everybody else was absent.
This is interesting because Chris had to use either Mariota or Winston because those are the two quarterbacks he had on his bench after he gave up to Deshaun Watson. He chooses Winston and he gets 3 points out of it because of an injury or maybe an injury.
No. Injury's the next week.
Oh, okay. So he just fucking put up 3 points against Carolina.
Yeah.
So that hurts. Even though Le'Veon Bell, 12 points from Le'Veon, he probably was hoping for more than that. So,
I mean,
Cameron Brate had 8, so pretty pedestrian there too. So overall, Chris, after that week, he was probably feeling a little low on that trade. Like after the 2 guys he just traded away blew up for 76 points, and what he got in return was only 20 points, and his quarterback backup ate shit basically.
Yeah, and that's and on the other side, I mean, it looked like a winnable game, except for the fact that the Ravens' fucking defense just
31 fucking points. That is
40
insane.
to 0. That's ridiculous. When did they have that game, by the way? 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and then a shutout.
Three sacks with the shutout. Damn.
So,
but other than Jerick McKinnon, that was all that was going on for Jimmy.
Yeah,
it was not. Alex Smith only put up 15.
So yeah, it was up and down minus McKinnon and Ravens D. A pretty shitty showing for Jimmy, but still gets 112 out of it.
Jimmy is on a streak now, dude. His 4-game or however many game win streak.
On a 2-game win streak now.
Yeah, that's huge. I would say Jimmy is feeling a lot better. Maybe we should not talk up. Apparently, there are like curses when we talk up teams. When we say like the teams,
we've been talking up John's team for quite a while. When's that?
Yeah, but you were also talking up. You were also talking up Chris's team, team, who's on a 5-game losing streak.
After you picked John, who was going to be my pick too, I picked Chris as a
I said you could pick John.
I just wanted
as
to
your
pick
pick.
someone different.
Well, okay, fine. But at the same time, Chris's team was looking pretty studly at that, but it was a totally different team. At that point in time, Chris's team was going to just be Deshaun Watson, DeAndre Hopkins, and the rest of those fucking ridiculous running backs.
So let's get back. Just keep it on this trade between Nick and Chris, because Nick's here and it's just an interesting roller coaster. So you're feeling amazing after that week. Chris is probably feeling pretty down. And then Nick, walk us through how you found out about the news about Deshaun Watson. Like how did that all come about, and what were you doing?
Well, I was at work. Pretending to work, checking my favorite subreddit of fantasy football.
Ooh, what's the subreddit?
If you go to Reddit and then you go to r/fantasy football, it now has 300,000 followers, by the way, if you want to follow too.
Yeah.
But it was pretty boring that day. I was like thinking to myself, God, there's like nothing going on today. Everyone's just talking about Josh Gordon. Everyone's just nutting his pants about Josh Gordon's back. I wish there was something else. And then, towards the end of the day, I check the subreddit, and the top post was like, Texans fear Deshaun Watson tears ACL in practice.
My God.
And my heart just fucking sinks back from the top of my fucking body to my butthole. And I
so is this time instead of nutting your pants, you're shitting your pants? Is that what's fucking happened?
I shat my heart that day.
I shat your heart out. What the fuck is this doing here?
Dude, you have so many pants that you need to wash, bro, at this point in time. Like the last couple of weeks, bro, your pants have been destroyed.
Dude, I wear the same pants, so they're real fucking dirty now.
Jesus, give this guy a True Religion sponsorship, please.
But oh my God, I sunk. Like the CFO of Dawn and Sons was talking to me about. He came up to me like right after the news, and he was like, "So I heard that guy is leaving from your work," and I'm like, "Wait, what guy? What? Oh yeah, that guy." And I was all, "Yeah, blah blah blah," but I couldn't. I could barely talk to him, and I didn't want to take requests from anybody that day. It was so bad. And then I thought to myself, no, I basically only received DeAndre Hopkins for Le'Veon Bell and Cameron Brate at that point too, and going back to the roulette, which I'm terrible at QB. I just cannot pick QBs. But funny enough, all those 3 QBs that Chris had, he doesn't have any of them anymore. And yeah, I have Mariota now, so I have another one of his QBs, but it's just not the same. I was so sad when Aaron Rodgers went down. I was like, oh fuck, this just fucked up my whole offense. Now what am I going to do with Adams?
Yeah.
And I played Huntley, and it was just no, he threw for 84 yards, and I I lost to Joey. It was a double fucking kidney stab, and I could not do
Kidney stab.
So, and then, I trade for Deshaun Watson, and he looks great, and I'm like, okay, solved, problem solved. But it sunk even worse because watching Deshaun Watson just be amazing, and then getting injured in practice, like fucking practice, it was worse. It was worse than watching Aaron Rodgers go down. I was so fucking sad. What was the point of this question again?
We just want to know. Yeah, I just want to know. Yeah, you just answered it really well.
You're on the couch. You're
heart out.
Yeah, you're on the couch, Nick. Yeah, dude. You got Doctor Tatarian going fucking. He's laying on some fucking thick psychoanalysis right now.
So to finish that, so Watson goes down. I did think about changing my name to like Good Day Watson or something like that. But now my whole team offense is lowered by a lot. Like, it lowers Miller's value, it lowers everybody's value. I have Will Fuller in a different league too, so I'm just hoping for everyone to do good, and then it lowers Hopkins' value, and so now I lost I lost a ton of just everything, just points and stuff going forward. It's not going to be the same, and now I'm fucking scrambling again. It's so terrible. Yeah. I just don't know what else to say.
No, I know. I can, dude. That's that. I mean, hearing about Watson going out was like just such huge news. Just couldn't believe that. And just from even just a football standpoint of like he could have been absolute rookie of the year or even like MVP the way he was playing. Like fucking special.
He could have gotten both. You're right.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree.
So bummer just for entertainment value to see him go down as well. But yeah, I can only imagine, how devastating that is, especially right after you just got him and you paid for him too.
I paid a high price. Like I gave Chris my first round pick and a solid tight end that he could stack up. Like I paid a good amount of coin for that pair, and it was worth it. And now it's like it's totally tarnished. Like my whole my shit is just fucking tarnished, dude. And like that coin, a dirty coin now. It's all bad. It's all bad. It's just fuck, dude.
Do you remember what day it was that he went down?
Yeah,
Thursday.
Thursday.
Because I was at Don and Sons, and I was just like, oh my god, like so bored just checking fantasy football. Josh Gordon, and then the news. It's just
so
and then the top Reddit post was like the top Reddit comment of that was rest in peace, fucking Hopkins, Fuller, and Miller, and then the second comment to that was like fuck.
And that was you.
And then the third comment was like, this guy fucks. And I was just so fucking sad, dude. Oh my god.
Dude, well, so you find out on Thursday. When do you pick up Mariota? You pick him up that night?
I pick him up that day. Like I dropped Watson like an hour later. Just like what I looked at Mariota's schedule, and it was like it's not bad. I don't know what it is right now, but he's totally not the same player though as Watson.
Well, yeah,
he's definitely
nobody really is, but. I mean, I remember looking at the quarterbacks that were available after hearing about Watson just to see like what you'd be going through. And yeah, it was looking pretty bleak at the time, but I also agreed that Mariota was the best. And I wish I had an extra roster spot because I was going to just fucking snag him so you wouldn't be able to.
So again, I look at, the playoff schedule for him. So he has the 3 tough games in the AFC North, which is Baltimore, Cincinnati, and Pittsburgh. He did okay last week. He got 18. But then after that, from weeks 12 to week 15, he plays all backup quarterbacks. So, he should get the ball plenty and have a chance to score. And I guess he's got some more pieces. He's running better now. He's coming off the injury. And Corey Davis is that fool's name.
Yeah.
But he's coming. So I hope he picks it up, but he's definitely not the same caliber as Watson. You can just tell when someone's talented and when someone's smart and talented. So I don't mean to bag on Chris's quarterback Winston, But that fool is a dummy, dude. I saw him fucking before on warm-ups. That fool's licking his fingers like, gotta get a win, gotta get a win.
Yeah, that's a W. We're gonna be eating W's. I was like, what the fuck is that?
He's licking W's, dude. He's eating crab legs on the side of the fucking,
right before
on the side.
His team gets fucking demolished.
Dude, yeah, Watson fucking grew up poor, helping his brother, like doing all kinds of admiral shit. Like he's a good, modest, smart individual. He's not fucking licking fingers or fucking.
Oh yeah, you mean Mariota? Yeah.
Yeah, so like, he's like smart and super athletic and talented, and it just sucks when somebody smart goes down too. You can tell who the smart quarterbacks are out there, and it's just not the same. I mean, I think fucking Mariota probably has like an average IQ. He puts up average points. So I don't know. Yeah.
Well, shit. And so the trade ended up taking place on the 25th. It goes down less than like a week later, not even.
Later, yeah.
Yeah, and God, and then we get to this very last week. You pick up Mariota. Now, you still started DeAndre, and he still actually had a pretty decent game.
Yeah,
I got 17 points.
I mean, he's still number one overall. Tom Savage is just fucking throws him the ball because he's scared. He's just like, you catch it, Hopkins.
If I was a coach, that's all you'd tell your quarterback to do. Just get him the fucking ball. Just throw it up in the air and let that fucker catch it.
That was Savage's first NFL touchdown.
Really?
Really?
He'd never thrown a touchdown before.
No kidding. Damn.
So
I mean, well,
if Hopkins can still maintain even close to this kind of a top 1, 2, 3 type pace, I mean that's gonna be you're gonna be fucking feeling like you made out after that, Nick, because I mean, I was one of them, and a lot of people thought once Watson went down, like, oh, dude, Hopkins is going down for sure. Like, because I remember I had Hopkins last year, and he had fucking Brock Osweiler throwing to him, and he had a fucking terrible year last year.
Yeah.
But so, I mean, pretty nice to see that he got 17 with Tom Savage last week.
That is nice to see. I mean, he's going to get a ton of targets, but it's not going to be, like 200 yards. He's going to barely
it's a totally different offense now.
He's going to get like a catch for like 10 yards, 8 yards. It's going to be like that. And then I'm worried about my boy Lamar too, because he's not going to fucking be able to create. Lamar caught that touchdown. He was just like sitting down in the end zone, and Watson was doing a 360, getting tackled, and he threw it to him. And Lamar was like fucking taking a poop right there, and he caught a touchdown. So it's not going to be the same thing.
Well, I mean, it's also if Houston is, I would expect they're not going to be running people over, and they might be playing from behind a good bit too, and that always hurts the running backs, just not getting as much work.
Well, he didn't do too bad in Indy. He put up 9.5, which I would say has been his. That's like his floor.
Like his average, yeah.
So that's not horrible. And then you're just hoping for one of those touchdowns. I mean, who knows? Maybe give the kid a little bit, Tom Savage, give him a little bit more time. Maybe you'll start to get some better results for Lamar. I mean, I would say, yeah, you should be. At least the fact that DeAndre didn't go fucking plummet down to the face of the earth.
A good transition. I think the voodoo is really going to come on strong now, because the person whose value gets hurt the most is Will Fuller, and he is not going to be able to sustain those touchdowns. He took his first hit last week, and then I think. What is it? Zeke's suspension is going to come up, so I think the voodoo is going to come at John pretty hard.
It might. Well, we'll find out, though. I guess we'll find out tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
that's when
the find out tomorrow about Zeke.
That's when the hearing is.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I guess everybody's technically going to be listening to the podcast, possibly tomorrow, maybe Friday. We'll see how quickly we can get it up. So we'll see what that's going to be like. But I guess we should maybe talk about Derek's team, since Derek did happen to finish with the highest score of the week against you, Nick. That was unfortunate.
I blame you, Brian.
It's my fault? Why is it my fault? Because
I
of
don't know,
maybe Carson's fault. Okay, I can understand that.
dude, it was like Derek's bye week too. I was like, oh yes, Tom Brady's on a bye, James White's on a bye. Like, what's he gonna do? He doesn't have a running back. So then he plays Dak, and then he picks up Marshawn.
I can't.
They're just like, oh, take that, Nick. And then I take it in the chat too, Brian. Thanks.
Those were 2 late touchdowns too. He only had 57 on the ground and 6 yards off 2 receptions, but those two touchdowns.
Yeah,
crazy to see that. And Derek, high score of the week, and he had 0 from Zach Ertz. He didn't have any fill-in for that, so pretty crazy. But it's nice to see somebody not named John Glasgow win the award for the week. So, and Derek hasn't won it yet, so it's spreading around even further. So the list of people who haven't got it yet is starting to get a little bit smaller.
And speaking of Glasgow, you're right, Nick. Will Fuller did not do very well this last week.
He
only
like 4
had
or something?
4. Yep. 4, what was it? It was 2 reception for 32.
That's a huge drop off.
Tom Savage cannot throw the ball like 40 yards, dude. Will Fuller is going to take a huge hit because of it, and it sucks, dude. It makes me cry.
Oh, we also forgot about you're talking about John's team. You're talking about Will Fuller taking a hit. Talk about Zeke Elliott possibly being suspended. Who is suspended?
Yeah, Mike Evans.
Yeah, because he's coming up on people and he hit him in the back when they're not looking and punched him when he's fucking down. This shit is crazy, dude. He should be suspended longer.
I can't believe AJ Green wasn't suspended.
Yeah, I was surprised that Mike Evans was suspended, but not fucking what's his name? That's crazy. He fucking choked.
What's his
name?
Guy. What do you mean? What's his name? Say his name.
I can't even remember what his name is.
Dude, yes you can.
Dave Chappelle. I don't remember.
How do you know Dave Chappelle now, but you couldn't remember it last time?
Oh, god damn.
Yeah, dude, I can't believe AJ Green was not suspended. He threw the guy onto the ground and just started throwing punches. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I was with Chris in the bar. And since we were playing each other, we were watching that together. And dude, watching that happen, and he gets fucking flagged and then thrown out. I just sat there with my jaw fucking dropped, and then took off my hat and started beating the seat and screaming. Oh, so fucking pissed. That was so stupid for somebody. That was 2 players of mine doing some dipshit thing to get them fucking ejected. So that was frustrating, but I think John also felt some frustratingness as well because a lot of his players didn't come through, but enough to, I guess, get the victory. Maybe Phil's a little bit more frustrated. Jesus, only T.Y. Hilton doing anything. Everybody else in his team.
Yeah, Phil's had a tough go of things lately. I keep seeing his team down in like the 80s, 80 points, 70 points. Like, yeah, he hasn't had any like huge weeks, it seems like, for a while.
I think he's just having a difficulty balancing between, or maybe it's just because he's been starting Kirk Cousins like a lot. But I feel like, okay, so Kirk Cousins, week 6 and 7, he had like 30 points, right? But 8 and 9, he's at 12 and 7.
Yeah.
And Matt Stafford on his bench over the same time was 19 and 27. So maybe he's just having difficulty figuring out which one to start. I mean,
well, he took a huge hit with Jordy once Rodgers went out. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
If you have Jordy, you feel like you have to play him. I mean, he's fucking Jordy Nelson, but obviously huge hit there.
Not only that, he was probably thinking he really had something with LeGarrette Blount before J.J. got there. And then J.J. got there and fucking killed it. Yeah, LeGarrette Blount only had 9 for 37 on the ground.
Yeah,
where Ajayi, I think...
It's because they're almost like splitting time now.
Mm-hmm.
And Crabtree's kind of dropped off a little bit lately.
Yeah, well, I mean, he did have the 10.5 the week before and 9.5 before that, 14 and 17. I don't know, maybe not. Okay, maybe it's just the touchdowns, I guess, is what we're missing.
Yeah,
maybe.
He hasn't had any big games for a while.
True. Osfarian Jenkins kind of cooled down a bit. He was really nice, streaking for a little bit, and 9.5, 4.5, 3.
Yeah, just has not enough people going off for Phil, but certainly could change at any point.
Dude, Chiefs defense getting a goose egg, that doesn't help either.
Yeah, that was pretty surprising.
Well, that's a tough one. John still continues the win streak, even though, like as we were saying, he's got some questions with all the different things going on. So I guess we'll see what happens this week. What else? What other games happened?
The most interesting one was Joey versus Jimmy, the 1 point differential.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now
and that came down
happened
to Monday night.
Right. Now, let's see.
Yeah, I was hanging out with
JJ.
Joey on Sunday. I was over at his place. We were watching the morning games together, and he was, from what I recall, he was feeling pretty decent about where he stood with like Alvin Kamara, who's been a really nice addition. That guy's been going off lately.
Killing it. Yeah, just killing it. I would say almost the entire season. Like really high numbers. Let's see. Julio finally got his fucking much more his normal type of game. 118 yards off 6 receptions.
He already had Tyrod, who had a huge game on that
Thursday. But, dude, the rest of his team kind of let him down.
Yeah,
Bill's defense,
Hunt,
obviously.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, big disappointment. Over the last, 2 weeks, he's been 7.5, 7.
Yeah, he's sort of come back down to earth a little bit.
DeMarco not doing very well, only 4 fucking points, 9 for 19.
Yeah, so Joey's got the interesting conundrum, he was telling me about it, of having Derrick Henry and DeMarco Murray, and like every fucking week he's just like, I don't know which one I'm supposed to play, and he keeps choosing wrong. Like 1 week Derrick Henry goes off and he's got him on the bench. Like that's kind of a tough one to have both those guys and you don't know who to play.
So I guess you got to try it, but that's the weird thing.
Well, who do you trade away?
Well, I think what you would have to do and I don't know how Joey would think about it, but I guess the way I would think about it is you have to trade off of whatever their perceived value is. So technically, even though maybe Derrick Henry has been maybe having maybe some bigger games than DeMarco, I'm not sure. What are the numbers? They're really close. They're like 28 for DeMarco, and Derrick Henry's 34, ranked 34th. So like they're pretty close with their numbers. I guess you would just have to value DeMarco Murray a little bit higher, and Derrick Henry a little bit lower. And if you probably thought about it that way, you might be able to trade something. So something a little bit.
The problem is that they're both on the same team. So no matter what, if you get rid of one, you're going to be stuck with somebody who's still inconsistent. It's like every other week, one guy is better than the other guy. It's like...
That's a good point. So, I mean, but at the same time, he's also got, let's see, he's got Sharkandrick West, who I guess is the backup for Kareem.
Yeah, he's got the hand.
I think he dropped him, so I don't think he has him anymore.
Yeah, he did drop him, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, so there you go.
I think all of Joey's players have really funny hairdos. I think that's why he picks them. They all have like a bag on their head.
I mean, besides Kamara, and if Kareem Hunt, I don't know. I mean, Kareem Hunt's not been doing all that great. I guess maybe he's having running back troubles and not totally happy. I mean, I would say with Amari, he's okay. I don't know. Amari's been really disappointing this season, and then all of a sudden amazing, and back down to regular. What would you say about Joey's wideouts, Sean?
I think he's got good wideouts. I mean, he's got Kelvin Benjamin that he can play now. Julio is always nice to have. I think Devontae Parker is probably a pretty consistent, good person to play. And then he's got some, like, he just picked up Danny Amendola, and he's got Hogan as well, but he's been injured. Amari, kind of hit or miss, but I think he's got some pretty good receivers, though. I think he's stronger at receiver than he is at running back.
Yeah, and but even still, 112. So you left him on what, Sunday, and that was that, right?
Yeah, he was winning by, I want to say, like 7 points or something like that.
And who did all Jimmy had was, I guess it was
He had
just
Randall Cobb had to get at least
That
at least 7 points or something like that.
yeah, something like that.
And then I remember I only checked like the first half of that game, but I think Randall Cobb had like 3 or 4 points or something at halftime. So like still, I don't know, it was pretty close. And then Joey texted me. He's like, "Fuck, looks like I'm gonna lose by a hair," and that is absolutely what happened.
that
By
is
1 point.
exactly what happened. Yeah, 1 point, dude. That's fucking crazy. And Jimmy didn't have a bad performance, either. Alex Smith did decent. Jay Ajayi now on Philadelphia. That'll be really
that was a
interesting.
gutsy play by Jimmy right there. I have Jay Ajayi in my other league, and I benched him because they had said like he wasn't really going to get very much going into it. Like they said he was going to get like 10 to 12 touches, which how many rushes is that actually going to be?
Dude, I think his first or second carry went for like 30, 40 yards and a touchdown.
Like 40 yards for a TD, and that was basically like his whole day right there. But I was like, oh motherfucker, he busts one? You kidding me? He hasn't busted one all year.
No, he hasn't. That was his first touchdown all year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was awesome too.
Yeah, it was.
Dude.
It was fun to watch.
But so that's going to be interesting rolling forward. And he had Matt Forte on a great night, 22
Yeah,
points.
huge. Was that Forte's biggest? Yeah, by far biggest week of the year.
Yeah.
Oh,
and-
that was that Thursday
That
night
was the
game.
The Thursday game.
that went crazy.
Matt Forte, dude, he deserved that, and I've got to say, like those Tyrod Taylor points were fool's gold right there. He scored 2 touchdowns in garbage time and just ran down and got 30 points. The Bills were getting crushed already, so he stole all those points.
Yeah, those garbage time can be really helpful.
Yeah, I mean, shit, dude. Jared Cook had a great game, 126 in the air for 17 points, 8 receptions. Wow.
Yeah, that was huge right there.
But there you go. Yeah, all you needed was 7.5 from Randall Cobb to get you the win, and shit, there it is.
Yeah, eat one out right there.
Now, what's the activity between these two? You said Joey's dropped a couple people, right? Did Jimmy do anything?
Yeah, Jimmy had to do a lot. I'm playing Jimmy this week, and he's got a lot of people on bye. If you look at his team right now, his entire bench is just all bye weeks.
Shit. So let's see. Yeah. Come the waiver claims this morning.
So he dropped Ty Montgomery and picked up Jared Goff because he needs a quarterback. He already has 2 quarterbacks, but Derek.
Drop.
What? Oh, he dropped. Oh shit, he dropped Derek Carr. Interesting.
Yeah, he did. He dropped Derek Carr.
Nick, you putting in a waiver claim?
Yes. Actually, I am, because I have fucking crazy pineapple man.
You have some quarterback problems, and you could use some insurance there, just to make sure you've got at least some starting quarterbacks that might get you a little. Because Chris used that top claim and took Roethlisberger, dropped Winston. Said, "Fuck
Yeah,
it."
I'm surprised.
I don't know if
I'm surprised
I
you
trust Derek though. I don't know if I can trust him.
Derek Carr. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, in all honesty, you'll see what happens.
Well, he's got a bye week this week, so he would be a stash player. So Jimmy drops him. He picks up Patriots defense because they're playing shitty Denver this week. Let's see.
Yeah, Ravens are on bye.
I think he had to do. Maybe that's all he picked up. I thought he picked up one more, but maybe
No,
not.
you're right. He does. You're right. He's got a shit ton of people on bye, so that's.
Yeah. So I mean, it's always nice when you're playing against somebody who's got a lot of bye week action going on.
True.
Oh yeah, he had to pick up Hunter Henry as his tight end as well.
Oh, interesting. Oh, well, that'll
Jared
be.
Cook's on a bye. So yeah, Jimmy's rolling out kind of the Band-Aid squad right now.
Now, Sean, did we talk about your matchup with Misha?
No, we didn't really talk about it. It was how a lot of my matchups have gone this season, where in the morning games I'm feeling okay. I'm at least either neck and neck or ahead projections wise, and then my team just shits out in the afternoon, and or the other person has a really strong afternoon and just steals the win from me, and that's definitely what Misha did. His afternoon guys went off. I think we were projected to tie after the morning, but then he still had Doug Baldwin. He had, who else? Seahawks defense, and who was the other one? He had somebody
Doug
else.
Baldwin had his second highest game of the year. 108 yards of 7 receptions, touchdown, 20.5.
Yeah, I think he had maybe like Jarvis Landry going as well. So yeah, he got like 20.5, a 12, and then his defense got him 12 also. And
he just a goose egg from Doug, and 9.5 from Sterling Shepard were his lowest scorers.
Yeah, I mean, like the majority of his team, nobody like really exploded, but the majority of his team did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was like the opposite, where I had a couple real shitty performances and some good ones.
What happened with CJ Anderson?
Dude, they were getting blown out by Philly. That was the Carson Wentz show. Carson Wentz was just.
I was watching that game. I saw CJ Anderson, and I just didn't realize he was that.
I mean, he only got 9 carries, and. Like they were behind like the entire time.
Yeah. Damn.
So that was bad, yeah. And then on the Thursday night, I had to pick up a kicker because Gostkowski was on a bye, and I picked up Hauchka, and he got 3 points. So that was pretty shitty. But the real nice thing was that Robert Woods, this flex guy that I have, had a huge game with 2 touchdowns. So I was happy.
Yeah, dude. That. Oh man, the Goff game. That was another ridiculous game.
Totally.
Oh Jesus! And so Misha comes away with the win. Unfortunately, loss
Misha's
for you.
Pretty good, tied for first right now.
We should get into the standings really quick. But I guess who else do we have? I guess me and Chris. Or did we talk about Nick's matchup this week? What happened this week against?
Yeah, we talked about. A little bit about Derek and Nick because Derek had the top score.
Okay, yeah, we did talk about Derek. Okay, so I guess we can talk a little bit about me and Chris's matchup really quick, and then get into the standings. Chris was upset. He was pretty fucking pissed.
Did you guys meet up?
Yeah, we met up. We went down to Miller's, which for those of you who don't know or have never been there,
what's Miller's Field? Yeah,
it's closing.
Oh, are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Dude, the fucking curse of the podcast, man.
Oh my God, you guys brought down the whole establishment.
We're bringing it down. We got to talk about Roger Goodell.
Oh Jesus! I mean, this is it's pretty depressing. So basically, the Breakfast Republic or something like that, some franchise.
Fucking stupid as hell.
Yeah, some breakfast franchise. I guess it's supposed to be pretty good, but bought the place.
I heard their dinner is going to be really good.
Yep, I think that's exactly what they're planning. Is a breakfast place called Breakfast Republic, but only serve dinners. But you know how there's a downstairs and an upstairs in Miller's? They're planning to keep the upstairs as like a bar with like a TVs and shit like that. So they still want to have some sort of small business like that, but at the same time, it's it's pretty much officially closing. Won't be known as Miller's Field anymore. The downstairs is completely shut off, and you can't get up there anymore. The only time, you can't get into the downstairs. The only way to get into the place is you have to go through the side door that's sitting on Mission, and that's the way you get upstairs. It's fucking crazy, depressing, but yeah, Chris and I went. We're watching some of the games, saw some crazy things happen, some depressing things and happy things. I guess I had more happy things than he had happy things.
Yeah.
Jameis going out injured, that sucked. Cameron Brate also they looked like they were getting their fucking asses kicked.
Yeah, that was
by New Orleans. A couple of our games were really, really big because we had a bunch of people playing. So the Rams game was a big one for us against the Giants because I had Gurley, Zerline, and Evan Ingram all going in that game, and he had I think he had and Sammy
And
Watkins.
Sammy Watkins, yeah. Damn.
So that was a really big game for us, and his defense did pretty good, and Sammy did pretty good. But as the game went on, Todd Gurley just fucking ate shit up like he usually did, and Zerline has been ridiculous with his field goals, and not too bad. Evan Ingram also got me a touchdown at 15, so that was a pretty good game for me. And obviously that Eagles game, as we were talking about, Wentz just went apeshit.
Yeah,
so
what
a
nice free agent waiver pickup for what you got him probably like 5-6 weeks ago or something. And
well, I had him once and dropped him, and then picked him up again.
Damn, yeah, he's been so solid.
He's been amazing.
He's
the
the
thing
number
was
one
is,
quarterback this year.
I know.
Far.
Well, the reason I dropped him was because if you look at his numbers, I'm sure you can see one of those games. This was the game I picked him up like, look at all these numbers.
Guy.
I'm gonna fucking play this fucking guy. But no, I think they also had I can't remember. I was still holding on to Andrew Luck at that point in time, really waiting for him to come back. Never did. Picked Wentz back on up at some point, I think around the 26th, week 6, I want to say, is when I played him again. So I had the 26, 38, 20, and 31. So I've had some pretty decent games with Wentz. But yeah, we were talking about AJ Green getting ejected. That sucked. But even still, Chris's team just had such a struggle day, other than those few players that had a good showing. You know, Fournette obviously was supposed to play, and you know, was held out because of violating team policy. Chris was saying he thought for photo. That's right. That's what I heard. But you know, he did have Ivory as the handcuff, put him in, and Ivory had a pretty decent game. But everybody else, even LaShawn McCoy on Thursday night, like what the fuck? Shit game. So I know Chris was pissed about that. And funny enough, I'm sure he was so pissed he had to figure out some way to worm his way to get Carlos Hyde off of his team and try to add to it. Since he couldn't start Carlos, he already had his 3-headed monster. And I guess we can talk about this last trade, seeing as how it just happened.
I actually reached out to him. I've been.
Was it specifically about Carlos Hyde though?
Wait.
No, it wasn't.
Wait, Sean, didn't you do like a rant about Carlos Hyde like a couple of weeks ago?
I was actually going to bring up something about that.
No, I did for sure, and it hasn't been true. I mean, Carlos Hyde's still been. He's had one really bad week the entire season, so he's
he's the number 7 he's number 7 back.
Yeah, he's been really involved in the receiving game and
continues
to find the end zone as well. So I guess I don't see any reason why that should just stop all of a sudden. But he definitely wasn't somebody that I was targeting necessarily. I was really looking for some help at running back because just C.J. Anderson is just letting me down week after week now, and like I'm just like, fuck this guy. Like I need somebody else, and I have I have more receivers than I can actually fit into my lineup. So I was trying to shop some receivers around. Actually, Nick and I had been talking for quite a while, and we just couldn't come to terms on anything that we could, both agree on. And I was like, all right, I don't really know if I'm getting anywhere with Nick. He wants fucking Drew Brees, and I'm not going to give it to him. And so I saw that Chris had fucking 4 running backs. I'm like, asked him if he's willing to part with one for a receiver because his receiving core is depleted. And I really wanted LaShawn McCoy, honestly, but he's really committed. He thinks LaShawn McCoy is going to bounce back and holds him pretty high. So I was like, well, Hyde's been looking pretty good too. And so we kind of went back and forth with a couple offers and stuff like that. And finally, after I had a few drinks last night, I was like, yeah, fuck it, dude. I'm going to take this. I'll take this Thomas for Hyde trade. Like, I want to make something happen. I don't want to go another week.
That is making something happen, I will say, because, dude, Michael Thomas, when I saw that, like, I was pretty surprised. Like, I mean, I understand the needs on both sides, but that was your stack. Like,
yeah, but he has not lived up to what I
hoped
he would.
You're right.
Be.
And I can totally understand that and why you're okay to, go ahead and use it to make something happen because he still has the value. He still has really high value.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, if he starts getting a bunch of touchdowns now, like I'm definitely going to be really pissed. But
well, I mean, if Carlos Hyde is also helping you out, you're not going to be as pissed,
yeah,
maybe.
and it's just I have too many receivers that I want to play, a lot of them, and there just isn't enough room, and I don't want to fucking hold somebody super strong on my bench. It just seems wasteful. So
it is wasteful.
I definitely wanted to try. Yeah, it is. I wanted to make something happen, and the only bummer that I'm like kind of. Like, the only that I don't feel like super great about the trade, but I mean, I just did it anyways, is that Hyde still has his bye week coming up next week. So I am kind of kicking myself a touch just because I traded away somebody who has all their weeks left to get somebody who I'm only going to have for 3 out of the 4 regular season weeks. But I didn't think there was going to be another trade possible, and I would have been stuck.
Well, no, I mean, I would say you did what you had to do to, try and make try to get your team where you want it to be. I mean, you're on what? This is the four now.
4 weeks left, and I'm in second to last place. Like, I need to do something here.
And it was a 4-game losing streak.
Yeah, I'm on a 4-game losing streak, and Chris is on a 5-game losing streak. So both of us are like, dude, we got to get out of the fucking gutter here.
And so, well, making moves, making shit happen. And so that's going to go through. Did it go through tomorrow?
Yeah,
tomorrow
we'll have our guys before this week's games, so we'll be able to use those.
Perfect. And now, so how did that affect that trade? Since that went through on Tuesday, how did that affect how you went after the waivers on Wednesday?
I didn't have to do anything on waivers this week. Like, I don't have anybody on buys. And I don't have any people that I needed to fill in, and I didn't want to waste my like 3rd or 4th position on just some garbage. So actually, I got up at like 7:30 as I usually do every day this morning, and picked up a couple guys that were just free agents, just because I think people were still sleeping or just not paying attention. So I picked up Corey Coleman and then picked up Thomas Rawls. Just to stash and kind of see what happens.
Dude, no, I don't think that's bad. I mean, I thought it was interesting. There were a bunch of people that didn't make their claim that I thought would. I actually did not make a claim. I was sitting all the way down at 10th, and now today I'm up at 5.
Yeah, there was a lot of movement overnight. There's a lot of bye weeks this week too.
True. I mean, I have Carson Wentz on my the Eagles defense on bye, so I needed to get something. So I let the claims go through, and I think I was still up at like 2:30 in the morning or whatever time it was, and I'm just in my bed looking at my phone. I was like, oh shit, nobody picked up McCown. I'll take that and rent that for a week. And
picked up Panthers defense.
That's right, Panthers defense.
They're playing Miami, who's pretty beat up.
We'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens with that. But I don't think there were any other really great or decent options. And I think a lot of the other defense at that point in time you had to, or defenses people dropped. You'd have to put in another claim for, and fuck that. I mean, but Nick, I thought you would have picked up a quarterback with everything that was out there. So you just sat on your pick, you sat on your claim, and you just are going to pick up somebody now?
What, for a quarterback?
Or are you going to stick with Mariota the whole way?
You know what? I'm still trying to decide that.
Bullshit, you've already decided and you just don't want to say.
That could be true, too. I don't want to tell all my my competition, hey, I'm fucking pick up who I'm targeting, so fuck.
Well, if you're going to pick up Derek Carr, he's going to be available tomorrow.
Yeah, you can pick up anybody at this point. It's just there are only a few people that are, you have to put in a claim for. But I mean, you said your number 2 claim, so if you use your claim, you're getting it pretty much no matter what.
Yeah, I know, because Misha won't use his. That fool's had number 1 the entire year. I just don't.
Do you think is going to use it? I mean, Misha, he's sitting at 6-3 now. He's tied for first place. He's in pretty good. Funny enough, we should probably talk about the standings.
That's just not how Misha picks up players. He'll pick up someone when nobody's looking, and then he'll pick the lineup at the end.
That is,
and he'll be like, "Oh,
Misha,
fuck you, bitch."
Yeah, he never does anything until like fucking either like Thursday if he has to for a Thursday game, or like the weekend just before the game start. It's like he just maybe he doesn't look at football stuff at all during the week, which I don't know. I find that kind of hard to believe too.
He's like a mad scientist.
That's your
silent,
picture of
the silent
that's
killer.
That's your picture of Misha just doing whatever he's doing in his fucking lab somewhere with a bunch of fucking vials and shit and goggles on and just laughing like a madman.
Pretty much, yeah.
Mad scientist Misha.
Him and Dylan Sorensen.
What the fuck? Oh man, going deep with that Novato reference there.
Well, they used to work together and do their mad scientist
at the Buck
stuff.
Institute.
Yeah.
True. Yeah, and Misha's wife worked there too.
Misha's wife worked there too? Damn, dude,
Isn't that where he met her?
I don't know.
Oh, we'll have to get confirmation on
question. That. Yeah, we need to have him come on. We can quiz him about his love life.
Yeah,
we should. We should not talk about fantasy football at all. It should all be about Misha's love life.
Straight
late
gossip.
Night special.
Yeah. It's a new name for the fucking podcast. Late Night with fucking Brian and Sean talking about your fucking relationships and shit.
Ooh, it's a lady.
Well, shit, dude. Let's see. For these standings, things have shaken up a lot over the last couple weeks.
Yeah, it's still only 3 games between first and last place, which I mean is not insurmountable. So there's 4 weeks left, and there can certainly be a lot of movement there. But like, yeah, John has moved up quite a bit in the rankings now, and there's just another big bottleneck kind of right in the middle. Yeah,
I'd say so. I mean, you got the 2 teams at 5 and 4, the other 2 teams at 4 and 5. Those Joey and Phil, you know, kind of the polar opposites of each other, 5-3 and 1, 3-5 and 1, and then the 2 first place teams, the 6 and 3s, and you and Chris.
Yeah, there's just a few streaks going on right now. Obviously, Glasgow, he was 1 and 4. And then now he's gone on this streak, and he's now 5 and 4. And then Chris was fucking 3 and 1 at one point, and now he's 3 and 6. All of a sudden, losing 5 weeks in a row.
Yeah, dude, that's rough.
And I was 3 and 2, and then I've lost 4 in a row as well. So it's just like a lot of little streaks going on right now. And Jimmy has nicely busted out of his losing streak. So
John, definitely. I mean, he was 1 and 4, and then went on a 4-game winning streak.
Yep.
Jesus. Well, it's kind of all over the place. I feel there are a few of us that haven't moved really all that much. Nick, you've pretty much the entire year, even with all the shit that you've had going on, you pretty much stayed in first. Almost since like the second or third week, or second, third week.
Dude, I rode in on my high horse.
Okay.
Dilly.
A high horse. Well, it is pretty crazy, man. Like, Brian and I were talking about this earlier. Like, the roller coaster that is your season, like, it's been really good in that you're 6 and 3 and in first place, but you fucking lost so many, like, really good players, too. Like, just what a fucking up and down emotional season.
Yeah, emotional, like a lot of emotions, it seems like.
Dude, I purposely tried to prevent what is happening to me now. And
it's the same. It was the same player too, dude. The same fucking player that you had. The first year he had this happen was when
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers went out in the playoffs, right? He got you a goose egg in the playoffs.
The last time I had Aaron Rodgers, he got injured, and then Derek's had him successfully for years.
Almost every single year, I feel, actually. You're right, dude. I feel Derek has had Aaron Rodgers for
and
the last
I knew Derek was going to draft him.
He would have if you didn't pick him first, and then Derek had to pick Tom Brady. So, man, there's a lot of weird things that happened in the league like that. Just like somebody wanted somebody else or fucking traded him away, and then they're gone. Just pretty interesting stuff.
Next year, though, I'm targeting Tommy, so that if he goes down, then fucking hallelujah, my friends.
So Nick, what's your feeling right now? Like, this obviously huge ups and downs. How are you feeling at this point?
I mean, I'm feeling okay. I'm actually kind of worried, and I think I need to keep shuffling my players to get a nice boost. And
When you say shuffle your players, do you mean like pick people up off free agents or put people on your bench into your lineup? Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I need to. I actually I'm trying to target some people for some trades that people aren't looking into now that might be better later.
Gotcha.
So
okay,
yeah,
like a Danny Woodhead, perhaps.
I am a fan of Danny. That would really help the Ravens as a team as a whole if Danny came back. See somebody can catch the ball. I mean, Alex Collins is always doing his little Irish jig out there. That's great. I love that guy. But we need someone to catch the ball too and fucking just slither in through somebody's legs.
Yeah,
dude, Danny Woodhead is a talented player, and if he's healthy, he'll put up fantasy points. But dude, his injury history these last few years has been horrible.
Yeah.
I don't think he's played in like a full season these last 3 years.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, so.
He's like a pillow out there. He's like a pillow, dude. He gets hit and then he is out from the count. Wasn't he a Chargers player too?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a Patriot first, and then he was a Charger, and then went to the Ravens.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's all a traveling man.
So a lot of my people, I'm just waiting for them to bust out. Like if we want to, since I am the celebrity on the show, like hey mom, hey dad, there are a couple things that I've been just like the Broncos defense. I've been holding them the whole year and they suck. My God. I'm just waiting. They have a nice playoff schedule and I'm just hoping that comes into play. Same with Mariota. And a couple of my other guys just have playoff schedules, and I'm just hoping they bust when I need them.
Now, what do you think about Diggs, Nick? Now, Diggs was fucking doing pretty good at the beginning of the season, and then he was injured. What do you think about him now?
Diggs is up for sale. If anyone wants to make a claim on Diggs, I am listening. I mean, I love Diggs. He's amazing. His talent, he's like Antonio Brown Jr. out there. Just running around. He doesn't have the mushroom from Mario, so he's not the full Antonio Brown. He's like the little mushroom. And he's just running out there catching balls. He's super quick, but he definitely worries me a little bit. And Keenum likes him, but the player that gets all the looks from Diggs, from little Mario, is his buddy Luigi, and that's Thielen.
Yeah.
Oh.
Thielen catches all the balls. He looks for Diggs, and Diggs is double covered. So he throws it to Thielen, and Thielen catches the ball, and Thielen has a great game. So I'm just hoping Diggs will break away from some of his coverage and go back to his earlier form. But I don't know. He worries me. A lot of players on my team worry me too. So whatever.
All right. Look for Nick to maybe shake a few things up and make some trades happen. It's always makes things pretty interesting.
He's going to be shaken.
There's only so much you can do when you just try to pick people up off waivers. So sometimes you got to get a little more creative and make some trades happen.
Dude, and with all the fucking injuries this season, especially the quarterback injuries, it's ridiculous, dude. There's nobody out there. So the waiver wire is not going to help you out that much anymore. Not unless more injuries happen and just more fucking no-name players just happen to get put into starting roles.
It's true.
Yep.
So, your friend Woods or whatever, he's a great player that you picked up.
Yeah,
so that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna ride the hot hand with him basically. But the way that Goff has been playing, it's like shit. Why shouldn't I play that guy? Goff's been just slinging it around.
Who was it? Was it me? Oh, Jimmy picked up Goff this.
Yeah, and I'm playing Jimmy this week. So I mean, if Goff does some good stuff, hopefully it's coming Robert Woods' way too.
Well, he's playing Houston. Fuck. I mean, shit. We've already been on this thing for quite some time. I don't know if we can get into the previews this week, but we probably should at least make quick predictions or something like that. Especially
some quick picks.
Yeah, let's just try some quick picks. We don't have to go for crazy analysis, but we can at least, take a look and give our thoughts.
You guys, can I make a little comment about the quick picks?
Yeah.
So, like when we look at a team, can we be like, I think this team's gonna win, and because I think like Michael Thomas or something's gonna have a big game, and they're gonna win that week with New Orleans is gonna win or something like that. I don't know if we already
Isn't that what we usually do, where we usually kind of go through and we're like, I'm trying to find a reason why this team is better than that team, or isn't that what we do?
I'm pretty sure that's what we do.
I thought you were gonna say something pretty cool, Nick.
Nope.
Actually, I have a question. I was talking to Joey about this. I was just curious about it, just general curiosity about the league. For anybody that has cashed money in this league, whether it's third, second, first, whatever, I'm curious what people do with their winnings and if they do anything interesting with them. Brian, did you do anything interesting with your winnings last year? You got first place.
I'm pretty sure he smoked his winnings.
Yeah, did you buy like a nice fat sack?
I don't know. Half of my winnings came to me late because somebody didn't pay.
Ooh.
We all are looking at you. We know
Nick, I'm looking at you, you fucking stupid
me.
son of a bitch.
At me.
At you, you goddamn motherfucker. You made some fucking arrangement with Joey that because Chris owed you money, that Chris was going to pay me the money that you owed to Joey for the league dues.
Rounders, man. I mean, the juice is running.
Yeah, the juice is running, you fucking cocksucker. God damn it.
Nick, have you cashed in this league?
I'll respectfully decline.
I won't plead the fifth on that question.
I think I got third once and one.
I only got second one time. I'm not fucking cashing in left and right here. So I guess not that many people. It's been like Joey a shitload of times and like
it's been Joey. Maybe, let's see, Derek, Jimmy, and is that it? Is that the only other people that have won a championship?
Yeah, that have won. Yeah, that's it.
Me, Derek, Jimmy, and
with my second place winnings, I bought obedience school for Ponge when he was a puppy. Paid for his fucking classes. That's pretty.
That's some
nice.
I don't know what Joey would be doing with the fucking thousands of dollars.
All I remember, this was back in college when me and Nick and Joey lived together. I wasn't even playing fantasy football at this point, but Joey was with some other guys, and it was the LaDainian Tomlinson crazy year.
The 2006 year.
Yeah. And he got first place and he won like $750. And I just remember he bought a Wii with that, and I played like 100 hours of Wii bowling that year.
Dude, is that the Wii that we had the Nick story on?
Yeah, the story where Nick
the
got
best
super high
ever.
when he didn't even smoke back in those days, and we were trying to play Wii golf.
Dude.
And Nick kept swinging the club, and like the club wouldn't go down all the way and like wouldn't even hit the ball. And then after like 8 swings, you just threw the controller down and you just said, "I'm done." And then you walked in your room and like went to sleep.
Oh
yeah, but I didn't go to sleep though. I laid in my bed.
He locked the fucking door. I remember that.
I remember we were blowing bong hits underneath your door to try and smoke you out of your room.
Dude, and then Ruka stuck his paw under there and would scratch my door.
Oh yeah, it said you got super scared by that or something.
What the fuck,
dude? I remember the look on your face, like, so, because we're all sitting watching the TV, like, okay, is Nick gonna go and fucking? It's the same bullshit. It's the guy just doing like the little swing and nothing happening.
Got so fed up with it.
It must have been like at least like 2 or 3 minutes of us just sitting watching, and finally everybody's staring at Nick. He looks on up. Everybody's staring at him. Oh, he chucks that controller and just runs into his room.
Says, "I'm done."
Oh, dude.
Dude, there's a pretty scary moment in my life, I must say.
Hilarious.
It was probably because the bong was made of glue, too. So
that's true. It was glued together so many times.
Which, I don't think that was the same. Was that? That wasn't the same.
All I know is that we had to light the bong for Nick because you didn't know how to smoke out of a bong yet. Such a different time.
I remember hearing the other story about that TV with Ruka jumping up onto the what was it, the top of the TV,
cable box on top of the
the
TV,
cable box, and doing like a
warm up there,
cliffhanger.
and she would lay on it, and then she like fucking rolled off and was like hanging on the edge by her claws, and Joey's just like yelling at
Ruka,
get the fuck off! Oh man.
Oh Jesus, good old times. Well, fuck. Shit. Okay, we got to get through this.
We've already been doing this for an hour and a half. We got to fucking. We got to power through these picks real quick.
Okay, Nick. I don't know what your request was about us doing for these picks, but let's start off with John and Chris.
Okay. Can I be a part of these picks?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, you have to be.
You can start if you want to.
Hold on. I'm pulling it up here. No, I don't want to start because I obviously don't pay attention to this podcast. So someone else should lead the way.
We appreciate you letting us know.
It's pretty simple. You just pick whoever you think is going to win this week. Well, so John's got some interesting things this week. So he can't play Mike Evans because of the suspension.
Yeah.
And the word's still out on Zeke. Although, if I was a betting man, I would say Zeke's going to keep playing.
With the way things have gone. Yeah, with the way things have gone.
If he does lose Zeke, that's going to be pretty big.
Who does he plug in? No. So what does he do if he loses Zeke? He plugs in. He can plug in
Joe
Alfred
Mixon.
Morris.
He's got Alfred Morris, so he has
so that's what he does.
Backup, yeah, but still,
he has the backup, or he can do Mixon if he wants. Mixon's, yeah, he could do that.
I am impressed that he's keeping Justin Tucker through his bye. That I do
wow,
like
yeah,
that.
dude. It's called Nick. It's called loyalty. Something you don't know anything about.
Nothing about 10th round fucking pick.
10th round drops him like nothing.
All right, before I'm sorry.
He is my favorite.
I'm sorry because
are you gonna change your team name?
No, heck no, dude. Justin Tucker lives on.
Oh wow.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we have to do this. We have to talk about this. Okay, so this let's go to it really quickly. Okay, here we go. Round number 10. Players Nick could have gotten if he didn't draft Justin Tucker.
You already did this in an earlier podcast.
Yeah, I swear.
How many podcasts is this going to be on?
Every week until you apologize.
Because you let him fucking go, and he was your 10th round.
Brian.
You could have had Zach Ertz, number 1 fucking tight end, if you wanted to this year. That Thielen guy you're complaining about so much, you could have had him too. You could have had Derek Carr, like Garrett Blunt. You could have had a lot of people.
Yeah, well, those aren't my guys.
They aren't your guys. But apparently Tucker ain't your guy either.
He was my guy, but let's look at when he was my guy, he got 8, 6, 1, 4, and then I'm like, you bastard. I watched the Ravens offense. It looks so poor. They could barely get to the other side of the field for Justin Tucker to kick it. And then when they got there, the time would run out and Justin Tucker wouldn't even get a chance.
Oh my God.
It's been I've cried and sweated a lot this year, just fucking on my emotions, dude.
Yeah, dude. You are up and down this year, I guess. All right, well, come on, Nick. So, seeing as how you've been up and down, take a look at John and Chris, and what do you think? Who do you like? What do you not like?
I gotta say, like I really love his three-headed monster or dragon on Chris's team, whatever you want to call it. That's definitely the strongest running back committee I think in our league.
Yeah,
most likely. Yeah, absolutely.
And I would love to have that on my team, but you know, he is substituting his wide receiver core for those backs with the trade. I think Michael Thomas will help a lot.
Yeah.
And,
he'll get that. So he's going to do Brandon. So he'll have Brandon Cooks, Michael Thomas, and most likely probably, I don't know. Do you think he would do Corey Davis or Sammy Watkins?
Yeah, I'm not sure what he would do there.
What do I think he'll do, or what would I do?
I guess what would you do?
I would probably put in Sammy because Corey's unproven, and I'd wait until he shows me.
I would agree, and if Goff is on a hot streak, take it while it's hot.
True.
Yeah, and Houston, Houston's going to be playing against Savage, so I think the Rams are just an all-around better team on defense and offense. So,
that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. He's got Rams defense, and they're going up against Tom Savage. like his defense could have a pretty big game.
Yeah, at home. So,
yeah, Rams have been good too.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and make my pick. I actually am going to go ahead and lean on Chris's way. This is the first time that he's going to have this three-headed monster. I mean, he was supposed to, like, Bell was off, last week on bye, and Fournette didn't play. So he didn't have many of his good backs. But he's going to have the full set this time. John's without Mike Evans, right? He may be without Ezekiel Elliott. We were talking about Will Fuller's value and how Tom Savage is just not the same, who now they're apparently going up against the Rams, which is a pretty decent defense. I don't know. I mean, he's got Arizona and Seattle on Thursday with Adrian Peterson and Russell in that game. So that'll be interesting to see. Nobody really can predict what happens with Thursdays, but let's just say it'll most likely be shit. I'm going to go ahead and pick Chris.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Chris as well for most of those reasons, and then just looking at some of John's schedule or matchups that he has too, like Minnesota defense against the running backs, they're really good. He's Seattle against running backs, they're really good. So he's got some tough matchups in there as well, and certainly if Zeke goes suspension, then it's going to be tough too. I think this will be the week that Chris breaks out of his losing streak.
What do you think, Nick?
I think we're going to have to put a voodoo strike on this and make it 3 total.
The voodoo strike.
Ezekiel Elliott, if he plays, he'll get his. I'm just worried for John on Thursday night. I think if that's a low-scoring game, that's going to hurt 2 of his offensive weapons. And like I said earlier, I'm already worried about Fuller. And for Chris, the three-headed dragon or whatever you want to call that is going to carry him with a couple of fucking icings, and he'll get it done. So I'm going to take Chris, make it a voodoo strike.
Voodoo strike, dude. That three-headed
doo-doo strike it is.
The doo-doo strike. Well, shit. All right, so let's go ahead and maybe take a look at how about Phil and no. We'll save that for a little bit later. Let's do Derek and Misha really quick.
All right, Derek and Misha. So they're coming off two teams who just got wins this last week, and Derek had a huge. What did he have? 150 or something like that. 155.
Highest score this for this last week.
So we got some bye week stuff going on in this matchup. Not really sure what these guys are going to do, and I'm not fucking making any more predictions on what people are going to do because I feel like
just what would you do? What would you do?
No, but there's some influence going on. I've noticed when we talk about this stuff.
I don't think so, you guys. I don't think anybody's paying attention.
Jimmy said he did earlier this year. He said, "Thanks for saying that on the podcast. I would never even have known about that." And I think...
Oh, what was that, though? That was like a suspension or something like that?
Yeah,
that
prove it, Sean. Tell you put it to the paper. Get the detective goggles on.
I mean, if we want to go through the fucking 300 text in that group text... I don't remember what it was. It was in
there'll be like 300
week
text messages in one day. Like I feel that text thread could go off if it needs to. It's ridiculous.
Anyways, like
with what he has on his bench. Look, I mean, obviously he's got Gronk, just coming off the bye, so he's going to pop Gronk on in.
Yeah.
He's just got Macklin is the only other, and then Jake Elliott. You were the one who was saying that
he'll probably throw in like Cooper Kupp or something like that.
He'll throw in. I bet you he'll just probably throw in one of those other wideouts like Matthews or Cooper Kupp, and then pick up a kicker. Probably end up dropping.
Last week when Misha played me, he wasn't sure who he was going to play. Cooper Kupp or Jeremy Macklin, and he fucking tossed he didn't toss a coin, he tossed a Taco Bell Diablo hot sauce packet, and that was his heads or tails to see who he was going to play, and he ended up choosing Macklin, which was the good choice, but that just goes to show he feels like they're almost a toss-up, so I'm guessing he'll throw in Cooper Kupp this week.
They're not just a toss-up, they're a fucking Diablo toss-up.
Dude, a fucking Diablo toss-up.
the worst kind of toss up. They'll fucking light your asshole on fire. And let's see. So Derek has Greg Olson possibly coming back this week. Do we know if it's actually going to be this week?
Don't know.
I don't think he is. I don't
think so. No, he's not even. He's not even eligible yet.
Yeah, it would be eligible to return November 26th. So Derek's got to pick up a tight end because
he may be holding 3 tight ends on his team. And looking down his lineup, who is he going to drop?
Ooh, he'd probably have to drop David Johnson.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. Anybody else would get scooped up.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Any
he doesn't
one of those
listen,
players.
So whatever, we can talk all we want.
We are talking all we want. God damn it.
I think he's going to drop Marshawn, actually, instead, because he's on a bye.
I don't know. Marshawn just got him 18 points, though.
And he's really weak at running back. Look at that. Frank Gore, James White, who else? That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
Fucking very weak.
Oh, man. Yeah, he's holding on to Marshawn. Yeah, I gave him a fucking Christmas present of dog shit, and he said, hello, thank you.
I'm going to have to give this one to Misha. I think Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey are going to have a real nice Monday night, just fucking throwdown against the lowly Miami Dolphins. Let's see, who else? Sterling Shepard should probably have a good game against SF.
Yeah, Doug Baldwin against Arizona on a Thursday game. That's always a question mark about what those happen. Gronk is going up against Denver, who just got destroyed by fucking
Gronk should
Eagles.
have a nice game. And since Derek has Tom Brady, some of those points are going to come Gronk's way. So
perfect. Oh yeah,
takes
all right.
some of the burn away.
I don't know about you, Nick. I mean, I think I'm leaning Sean's way. It sounds like he's going Misha. I'm probably going to be going Misha as well.
Well, look at you guys. You guys are a little WCW tag team right here.
Yo.
I think I am going to go against you guys. I'm going to take Tommy on Sunday night, along with Marvin Jones is going to get his points against Cleveland. Got the Jags against your LA Chargers there. I think they're going to do well.
Not mine anymore. Not mine. They're Misha's now.
Misha. Well, Misha loves that, I guess. And then and then I think Dez is also going to have a good game in Atlanta. I don't think there's going to be much defense there. So I'm going to go with Derek, and he's going to help me keep first place alive.
All right. We will split that one up.
Are you writing these down, Sean?
Yes.
We'll probably have to review maybe last week's. I don't know if we even said anything.
You know what I did think of?
The week before.
I'm going to give you guys, I don't know if you want to use it, but just access to edit the website, and you can just put these on the website for the tallies. It might be easier. So
that sounds like more work than we're already doing.
It was pretty hard to set up this Skype call, so I don't know how capable.
Yeah, whose was that, Nick?
Well, fuck.
Just so we know, I know everybody, we're all almost 2 hours into this fucking thing, but it did take us almost an hour to get this shit set up and going. I would say Sean made a good point earlier. If we could have one podcast without technical difficulties, that would be some sort of a fucking golden miracle.
We need an intern.
That's what we do. Dude, no wonder all these people have people working for them. Who wants to do all this shit?
The people that, on real podcasts that do all the editing and engineering and stuff, they have the fucking hardest job for sure.
Chris, what are you doing? God damn it. We need your help.
I'd like to also take a commercial break here to advertise Kibbles and Bits. Kibbles and Bits is a good product for your dog or your human. You can buy them at the local shop and enjoy Kibbles and Bits.
It's your local shop, eh? Tell me more about this local shop.
You can find it at your local Walmart, Home Depot.
Home Depot? Gotta go to Home Depot to get my Kibbles and Bits.
What kind of bits are you picking up? What are you feeding your dog? Jesus. Okay, so we got that one in the books. Let's go ahead and let's talk about who do you want to talk about? Nick, who would you like to talk about?
What are our options?
Joey and Brian, Nick and Phil, or me and Jimmy?
Oh, so one of us. Basically.
Yeah, one of us. One of us. Do you want to talk about your team, Nick?
Sure, since you said it.
Well, you and Phil are projected to basically tie right now.
That is true. And he does worry me, especially with his Matthew Stafford against Cleveland.
He already he's throwing in Matt Stafford. He's fucking kicked Kirk Cousins to the dirt.
Yeah, he doesn't even have a bye.
He's got Jordan Howard back in his lineup.
It's true.
Jordan Reed is questionable, but looks like he took part in some practice. But that'll be one to keep an eye on if Jordan Reed actually plays.
I hope he doesn't play. So that'll help. Well, I mean, he does have the backup already, so I guess it doesn't matter.
He's got a different tight end.
Yeah, so he won't have to go to the waivers. I would hope he'd go to the waivers.
True. Ty could always have a big game. Bears.
I don't know against Pitt though. Like Pitt's been pretty fucking good against wideouts. I think they're second against the wideouts.
They'll probably have to throw the ball a lot though. I have a feeling Pitt's gonna run the score up against him.
Possibly. What do you think about like guys like Curse and Sanu and Nelson?
Yeah, those are just the ones where you probably don't have very high expectations, but you'd be happy if they, get around 10 or more points.
Sanu has been pretty decent these last 3 weeks, 9.16 and 9.5.
Oh yeah, he's getting some touchdowns.
And Curse was doing pretty good earlier, and then kind of came down the last 2 weeks, 2 and 4.
What the hell is
Rhino?
that?
It's Rhino.
Rhino.
It's okay, buddy.
Oh my God,
Nick, you gotta get some kibbles and bits. Go to Home Depot.
Yeah. Seriously, have you not gone to Home Depot yet, Nick?
Oh fuck, Rhino. I think he's calling bullshit.
Yes, that's the call for bullshit. Well, it looks like you're running out.
Can you let Rhino out?
Technically, Nick's missing a lot. He's missing LeGarrette Blount, he's not having to face Crabtree, Alex Collins.
That's true. Yeah, there's some helpful things there.
Yeah, I mean, Aguilar is the only person Nick's got on bye. I don't know. I feel Nick's in pretty good shape for this match. You're right. It is going to be. I think it's going to be really close. I mean, I don't think the numbers are too far off. Looking at the matchups too, I think some of the better players are going to have some tougher times. Like, DeAndre Hopkins against the Rams. I'm not sure what's going to happen there. Ted Ginn against Buffalo. Diggs against Washington. Where's Washington ranked?
They're pretty good.
Yeah, you've got some tough matchups this week, Nick.
Like, I think it's going to be a pretty close game. I want to give the edge to Nick. It's going to be a small edge because I do think it's going to be pretty close. But I'm going to give you the Razor's edge, bud.
You're going to give me like a Little League edge?
I said the Razor's edge. That's better than the Little League edge.
I think this one's going to come down to Graham Gano on Monday Night Football for the win. I do
think so too.
I think I'm going to give Phil the Little League edge. I can't even say it without laughing. I also just have this sneaking suspicion that Nick's going to do some tinkering with his lineup. What
else would he do? I don't
want to give him any ideas. I just have a feeling there might be some
You're not giving him any ideas. I mean, you're just making predictions off of what you see on his bench.
Brian, call me privately after this podcast and we'll talk about that. DM me, bro.
DM me, fucker. All right, Nick, what about you? Looks like we're splitting it. Is that correct? Is that correct, Sean? You're giving Phil the Little League edge?
Yeah, I'm giving him the Little League edge.
Okay. Nick, what about you? Your own matchup.
The winner of this is going to be determined by who gets more points between Duke Johnson and Isaiah Crowell.
Ooh,
and if
shit.
I think if Isaiah gets more, I'm going to win. And if Duke gets more, he's going to win.
That's the same game. Are you going to watch that game then?
Yeah.
If that's what it all comes down to?
I've got like 50 TVs. I could put one to that game.
Whoa. And then he's got Stafford and Oh, that's it.
Yeah,
in that game too.
Yeah. So I'll be in my jammies at 10 o'clock with a Bud Light watching that shit.
Watching the Cleveland game, the Browns game.
Oh my God! What a horrible start for the morning.
I know.
Oh Jesus. Okay,
So who are you gonna take?
Going to be?
Well, I obviously got to take myself. I mean, that's what we do on this podcast.
I've been doing that the last 4
ourselves.
weeks, and it hasn't worked out for me very well.
Well, we haven't been doing the podcast consistently over the last few weeks, so I'd be curious to see those matches of yours that you did call. You know,
well,
if we don't do a podcast, do you win? Or
no, because I've lost the last 4 weeks, so it doesn't matter what we do.
I got to say a shout out to Phil. I mean, thank you for trying against me this week. I love you. You're a good bro. But I hope I beat you, man. You're a cool looking dude.
You're a cool looking dude. Yeah, that is one cool looking dude.
If only I could hear anything in my life was to be called a cool looking dude.
On a podcast.
On a podcast that 8 people listen to.
All right, we'll go to my matchup versus Jimmy.
Okay.
So Jimmy, yeah, he had a lot of pieces to fill in this week, and he has to hope that everybody on his team actually plays because he's got nobody on his bench that could do any filling in this week.
Every single spot is on bye.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Jared Goff definitely could have a good game this week.
Yeah, Antonio Brown against Indy. You're gonna love that.
Nice, definitely.
He's also got. See, this is the thing I don't really know. He's got Juju going also with Antonio.
Well, I mean, it could be a big game for Pittsburgh. Indianapolis is not great on defense at all, so there could definitely be some big scores.
True. I don't think Hunter Henry's going to do all that great against Jacksonville, although I'm not sure how they're ranked. They're 20th against the tight end, so they're not great against.
They do let up a bit, looks like.
So maybe he might do a little bit better there. What do you think about his backs, Jimmy's backs?
I do like Forte, and especially against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay defense is just garbage.
And they got Fitzpatrick leading this.
So I could see Forte having a nice game there. And I don't know, McKinnon, he's a tricky one, man. He's like does really well and then throws up a stinker. I just don't really know what to expect from that guy, but he makes me nervous, I'll say that.
Yeah, I would agree. All right, and then going over to your side, you got Drew against Buffalo.
Buffalo's been tough.
That's going to be tough.
And then
Melvin against Jacksonville.
That's tough too, but hopefully he gets involved in the receiving game and becomes more utility at that point.
Now, if there ever was a team for Darkwa to go up against this week.
Yeah, so this is where it's going to get a little tough for me. I don't know what I'm going to do, honestly. So I'll have Carlos Hyde, and I'm not sure who on. Well, obviously I'll have Thomas gone, so I could throw a receiver into Thomas's slot. But then I have this issue of I've got Keenan on my bench right now. Basically, I need to bench one of my receivers, and right now, I'm feeling like I might keep Keenan on the bench just because of how good Jacksonville is.
Yeah, and not only that, Robert Woods has been pretty decent.
Been good, and Houston defense has been pretty bad. Robbie Anderson's been getting a lot of touchdowns, and Tampa Bay is terrible. Golden Tate is super consistent
against Cleveland.
Yeah, so I feel like I'm going to have to keep Keenan on the bench, which I don't think
it's a crazy idea. No, I mean, in all honesty, what do you think, Nick?
Nick's not even here anymore. He's eating dinner right now with Tina, probably.
Oh, sorry. I was taking a piss.
Oh, you sneaky fuck.
I think I'm a little worried about the Pittsburgh game against Indy. I have a feeling that's going to be a Bell game. So, and he's got a lot of wideouts there on his team. So I think one of them is going to go off, and I'm going to say Antonio will get his. Mm-hmm. But I think that's going to be a Bell game there, so Bell's going to get a lot of that. And then
What do you think about that Houston Rams game? Because I was just thinking, Sean, you were questioning about the wide receiver to leave.
Yeah.
He's got Jared Goff now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So if Jared Goff does throw it around, I hope that goes to Robert Woods. That would certainly
keep him
help
keep him in the lineup for this week. What do you think is going to happen with that game, Nick? Rams and Houston.
I think Rams are going to win that game, and Goff is going to have a decent game. I think he's going to easily get 20 plus. It depends how many of those plus go to Robert Woods. I mean, Robert Woods is his one as the wideout there.
Yeah, over Sammy for sure.
Over Sammy. Sammy's the deep threat. I think he's more of the boom bust, and Robert Woods will get his floor at least, which is like 8 or 9. So you can count on that, and if he gets a touchdown, I would be happy with that. That's gravy. That's all.
Agreed.
So
Lions defense also has been one of the top defenses. Quiet the last couple weeks, but even still, like going up against Cleveland, that should be juicy.
That should be juicy too, but I have more faith in the Cleveland offense than I do the Denver offense. So
yeah, true. I mean, Patriots D is a good fill-in defense this week for sure.
I guess that's a good point. Well, what do you think? What do you think, Nick?
This one's really close. This one's really close for me. I think I'm gonna put my vote here, my sole dependence on Mr. Paul Richardson. Whoa. I think if Paul Richardson gets above 13 points, I would go Jimmy. And if he gets lower, I'm going to go you, Sean. I'm worried about Drew though. Drew also, because if they run it a lot against Buffalo, then that's less points for you, obviously. So, I'm going to give the Razor edge to probably you, Sean.
All right, I appreciate that. I'm going to give it to Jimmy. I'm going to give him the edge. He beat me
pretty... Are you trying not to boot yourself?
Yeah. That's basically it. I was going to come up with a whole song and dance of why, but that's pretty much it.
Well, that's fine.
Who's that guy in Jimmy's picture? He's going to come after you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a lot of money.
But
what I do have a very specific set of skills. The funny thing is I like a lot of what Sean's got going on his team, except for a few small parts. Except those few small parts are pretty important positions. Like Drew Brees and Melvin Gordon, you're expecting a lot. You need Melvin Gordon to have a decent game, and against Jacksonville, that's going to be tough. Along with Hyde, though, it's going to be a little bit more helpful, except you're not going to have Thomas anymore. So, right. So, what happens there? I think Jimmy does have some tough matchups, but he also has some juice matchups. Shit. I think it's going to be close. I think it could actually go either way. And with Hyde and Michael Thomas out, I feel like that's going to be a little hard to predict. It could be really good. Sean could easily walk away with the win. But I'm going to go...
going against the Giants.
See, the thing is I can't go against the Giants. I'm definitely rooting for the Giants. And I have to root for the Rams. And against Houston, Goff could have another fucking crazy big game. So I will go ahead and I will give the nod to Jimmy.
All right.
Ooh.
Wow.
All right.
Okay. Got it down. So we got one more matchup left. Brian, you got your matchup.
Joseph Lazareski.
This is a big matchup.
Yeah, I need to keep this going. I feel like I have a bunch of people breathing down my neck and a bunch of people up on top. I've been sort of smack dab in the middle. I need to keep the train moving. I don't have Wentz this week. I don't have the Eagles, but that's pretty much it. I got lucky, and AJ did not get suspended, so I do have him. The only question, I guess, is am I going to play Emmanuel? Because, God, Denver offense just looks so fucking bad. But the matchup is as good as it could possibly be.
Yeah, that's true. New England is so bad on defense.
They're so bad on defense, especially against the in the secondary. So it's like, how can I not? But the only other choices I'd really have are probably Funchess. And
I like Funchess. He's the number one now, and he's on
Monday
night.
He is, and he's on Monday night. So I'm waiting to. I guess today was technically the injury report, and it didn't come out with very much. So I still have to make my decision. Luckily, I can wait a little bit. I think I am going to play Fitzgerald, but there's also that question. So I mean, I don't know. There might be one of my wide receivers that ends up getting swapped out, but I picked up McCown, picked up Panthers defense. So we'll see what happens. And Joey, I don't know. Joey's got Matt Ryan. He's got Kelvin now as the number one, although I'm not sure why he's not starting Tyrod. I guess New Orleans has been decent against the quarterback.
Yeah, I think New Orleans actually has a pretty decent defense.
Okay.
And Tyrod got he got a lot of it in garbage time, but he could still have garbage time against New Orleans if New Orleans is doing pretty well.
True. Yeah, I think Joey's got some pretty good pieces here. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Alvin Kamara. Julio should be good this week, and he's got the Matt Ryan to Julio connection. He's got Kelvin that's back in his lineup. Let's see. He picked up Danny Amendola, so I'm not really sure how that's going to play out, but you don't have to worry about Kareem Hunt, which is nice.
Yeah, it's true. Amari's gone. He's off his, or he's on bye too.
I think both of you guys are going to have high-scoring weeks this week.
Yeah, well, I mean, Joey's team has been one of the higher-scoring teams so far this year, so it's going to be tough.
Man,
I think.
This one's tough to pick.
I don't know. In all honesty, I'm giving myself the nod. I feel, in all honesty, I feel stronger about a lot more of my players and matchups than I do about his. The only one question mark I have is what am I going to do with Emmanuel? And I don't think that's, the worst ever. It's either he's going out or Fitz is going out and Funchess is going in. So, yeah, and even still, I think, I'll stick with myself.
Do you ever play the people based on when they play? So I like to play a lot of my players on Monday or Sunday night, so I have something to look forward to at the end of the week, and it makes it more exciting.
I do. I think about it. I keep it in mind, I guess, is because I do agree that there is a slight benefit to having some of those players play on Monday night, but at the same time, like those primetime games, like not the Sunday night game, but specifically the Thursday night and the Monday night game, I feel like they're somewhat suspect to some weird shit happening. So,
totally.
Like, especially the Thursday games. So it's like I feel, I feel better about playing people on Monday games than I do about guys playing on Thursday games, if that makes sense. So, and if that's the case, if Fitz didn't have as good of a week, a decent of a week as he had last week, I mean, with a shit quarterback, he got 70 yards and 5 receptions. So it's like, all right, if you can get at least that.
That was against San Francisco, though. Now they're going to play against Seattle.
Yeah, I know. And Seattle's not as horrible against a wide receiver as everybody thinks. They're 18th.
They have to throw the ball a lot to stay in that game.
Exactly. So who knows what's going to happen? I mean, that's a Thursday night game. That's one of those games where it could either bite me in the ass or not. I mean, that's really the only small question that I have on my team is what am I going to do with a few of my wideouts? Thielen's playing for sure. AJ Green's playing for sure. But whether or not it's Fitz and Funchess or Sanders and Funchess or whatever one, or Fitz and Sanders. That's what I got to figure out.
I think I have to give the edge to you, Brian. Just with your running backs, Freeman and Gurley should be really good, and then AJ and Thielen, and I really like Evan Engram too. I think you just have maybe just a little bit more upside than Joey's team. He has his number one running back on bye, so that hurts him a little bit. I don't know. I just think, I think there's a little bit more upside on yours, but otherwise it's pretty tough to pick.
Okay. I think you should flip the Diablo packet for your wide receivers, obviously.
Yep.
And
what does that mean? Flip the dial. Okay, I got you. The hot sauce. Gotcha. I need to keep up with the new jokes. Okay.
Go to Taco Bell and just get some Taco Bell.
Excuse me, I need one Diablo hot sauce packet, please.
I mean, get some fucking gorditas and chalupas if you're already gonna be there.
Dude, I have not had Taco Bell in quite a long time.
Dude, you're doing it wrong.
When was the last time you had Taco Bell?
Like a week ago.
Are you serious?
Dude, Taco Bell is so fucking good.
When you're
I
drunk,
could walk to my Taco Bell.
I know,
yeah.
Nick, you can walk to your Taco Bell. Remember they fucking denied us that one time?
Why would you get denied?
Yeah, dude.
We got denied.
Outside Taco Bell.
So we basically, we got there 10 minutes before they closed, and they had already locked the doors.
Oh, wow.
And they're just like, no, we're not letting anybody in. It's drive-through only. And Tina had dropped us off at Taco Bell, because it was 10 minutes left to go. She was going somewhere else really quick or something. So we were just like, well, what the fuck? We want to order food. And then we walked up to the drive-thru, and they're just like, we're not going to serve you because you don't have a car.
Yeah, we Beavis and Butthead that shit, and they wouldn't give us any Taco Bell.
Oh, man. Denied.
And then we had to wait for Tina. We had to wait for Tina to come back to pick us up to take us through the drive-thru.
Me, Chris, and Brian.
Oh, my God.
And we're pretty sure they spit in our food. I don't think I have any doubt that they spit in our food. They were fucking dicks.
That's so funny.
Well, Nick, all right, besides the advice about the Taco Bell hot sauce.
I would really love to see Devontae Parker against Funchess on Monday night, just to put a little icing in my own cake for this matchup. I think Todd Gurley's going to have a nice game there, so I like that matchup. I think he's going to get 2 touchdowns. The real hamburglar of both of these is Freeman. If Freeman steals the touchdowns from Matt Ryan and Julio, then the ham is on your court. You're gonna take that victory. You stole those from Atlanta, and if that happens, I think it's over.
Did you say that if the ham is on your court? I like that.
Dude, Chris is going to have so many little fucking audio clips to cut on up. Nick's talking about blowing loads in his pants and fucking creaming crops or whatever the fuck we were talking about a moment ago.
Yeah, dude, we need more guests on this show. So shout out to all the guests. You should come on this show and just say a bunch of shit. It's great.
It's really easy when you download Skype for your phone, isn't it, Nick?
I would have to prefer it over a Skype for Business account. Okay, so back to this. Yeah, Joey does have his number one back on a bye, but his back has been taking less snaps lately. I think that's why his number's down. DeMarco, if DeMarco gets it going, then you're in trouble, Brian. But that hasn't been the case of late. He's been slow start and splitting with Henry. I'd like to see him get it going. That would mean the Titans' offense would be good as a whole.
True.
Benjamin, I'm curious about. How many catches is that fool going to get, and is Tyrod going to get him the ball? That's another stack he could do if he chose to go that way, which is interesting. He chose the other way. So, and Danny Amendola too, I'm questionable about as well. He only got 2.5, 5.5, and then he went 11 and 13. That should be a points game though. Denver sucks at offense.
Yeah.
And Tom's gonna light it up on Sunday night because he's a douchebag.
No, absolutely. I think and they won't pull him either, dude. He'll play for almost the entire game.
It's surprising that Chris Hogan's not gonna play. Oh shit! Sorry guys. It's surprising that Hogan's not gonna play. So Joey, I think, is expecting to get those Hogan catches.
Yeah.
But Danny Amendola is also a little bit of a puss. So he might get like 2 catches and get hit and getting carried out on a stretcher. So, for my last pick here, I do like Matt Ryan against Dallas, though. I think that's going to be a points game. It's going to who can score the most points in the dome. So I'm going to we're probably going to do another voodoo strike here, and I'm going to give you the edge, Brian.
Oh, shit. The voodoo strike.
Wow.
I hope that voodoo strike is on my side.
Voodoo
Come on, fantasy
strike.
gods. What do I need to do? Sacrifice babies? You tell me what, and I will fucking do it.
Better just do it just in case.
Where are the babies at?
All right, guys. Well, shit, we've gone over 2 hours for the first time ever in podcast history. Hopefully,
I have to say, Tina is not happy about it, too. I was supposed to make dinner like
dude,
an hour.
yeah, she's probably fucking hungry as shit right now.
You know what you should do, Nick? You should just take her to Taco Bell. In fact, we should each of us, make a trip to Taco Bell right now.
Take our wives to Taco Bell Wednesday night.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, so into that.
Hey,
Siobhan loves Taco Bell, so that's a win-win right there.
That should be a win. I can't see how Tina would say no to Taco Bell.
Well, she went to the grocery store, so that's probably why.
Oh, shit.
Throw that in the garbage right now and just take her to Taco Bell.
Tina, all this shit that you bought, no, we're not going to have it. We're going to go Taco Bell instead.
We're going to flip hot.
Throw that apron away. We're going to Taco Bell.
Oh my God! Well, it was awesome to have you on, though, Nick. It was definitely a lot of fun, and hope if we can't get anybody else on, dude, I hope you come. Hope you come back on.
Yeah, I'd like to be. I do listen to this show often. Oh, and that reminds me. So you guys put in your fucking little pick. So I think Nick was going to lose. This trade. You're just talking up Le'Veon Bell. After that week went through and Deshaun Watson went off, I listened to the podcast like 3 or 4 times, just in the shower, victory lap. Oh, yeah, Deshaun Watson, 42 points. I listened to that over and over. Oh, yeah, take that. You think Bell's great? Oh. So just to let you know.
How many fucking pants have you ruined? This is out of control.
I swear
There's no
to God.
in the shower, though, Sean.
You can't get these pants more wet. I'm already in the shower. Oh my God.
Oh God damn it. Oh man, this is too.
That's a
funny.
good way to end right there.
There are no pants in the shower.
You obviously haven't seen Arrested Development.
No.
I feel like I've seen Arrested Development, but I just don't remember all of it. I just remember it was like awkward and weird.
Oh yeah, dude, it was I forget the actor's name, but he wears Daisy Dukes like cut off shorts at all times, and he even wears them in the shower. It's like a medical condition that he has.
Oh, that one guy. I can't remember what that guy's name is, but he's in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just think of that one kid, the kid that's in love with his fucking cousin.
Oh yeah. That
The
is
Michael
fucking
Cera.
awkward. Michael
That
Cera,
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah, whatever. Sierra.
All right, let's fucking end this shit. We're just talking about whatever at this point. All right, fucking week 10, bitches. Let's go do it.
Is that where we're really on? Yeah, week 10.
Oh, man. So much confidence.
Later.